What's happening, guys? Today I'm going to be revealing to you our product research sheet. Now this is something we've been working on for a good amount of time and just optimizing. But what it is a research sheet. It's going to allow you to input product ideas, and it's really going to help you narrow down on which of those ideas is best. And it goes through multiple columns, and it actually automatically updates specific scores and tables based on your inputs. So it's actually going to end up giving you a score for your products. This is really going to help those of you who are struggling with choosing between products. That's a big thing I get on the channel. It's going to help you a lot with that. And as usual with the channel, it's going to be totally free. So I'm going to drop a link in the description below. Follow that link, drop your email. We'll send it to your email and you can begin using it. Also, you're going to notice that I'm using Helium 10's extension during this research as well. And currently they're actually running an 80% discount on your first month. This is a Prime Day deal, so it's only going to be live for about 48 hours. And depending on when you watch this, it might be like 12 or 24 hours. So if you do want to use that and save 80%, make sure you use the link below. And so in this video, I'm actually going to be using the sheet with a real life example and explaining to you exactly how to use it. There's already actually an example within the sheet, even when you download it. So you can use that for reference, but you can also use this video as a guide. If you ever need or get confused between things on the sheet, this is going to be your guide. And again, if you ever want to support the channel and the work we do here for you as well, please remember, share these videos, drop us a quick like, follow us over on Instagram. But without further ado, let's get into it. And so guys, this is the sheet you will have in your inbox once you download it from the link below. And you can see this is our research sheet V1 because we may update it, make it even better in the future. And you can click to get discounts on tools here. So if you ever need product research tools, it does support the channel and you often get a discount, you can use this link here. And then some explanations of things that will occur in the sheet that might be a bit confusing. This gives you a quick breakdown of those. So let's begin with our columns. Our first one is keyword. Here you want to enter the highest potential keyword. So in the example already on your sheet, it is Zen Garden, and you can use this as a reference. Now I'm actually going to do this with you as we go through each column. So let's choose an example. So here I'm actually going to put in whiskey gift set for men because we know that's a potential market. But let's see how this sheet works. Keyword URL. So here you're entering the highest potential keywords URL. So what does this look like on Amazon? If we quickly look at the example one, if we click on this, you can see it immediately opens Amazon, and that is the keyword of this market here. So you can see that's the keyword you're going to your direct keyword market. So for our example over here, once we've typed that exact term into Amazon, then this is our actual market, and we're going to grab this URL and we drop that in there. Next up, our customer favorite to follow. Now a customer favorite, as per this description, it's a specific product in the market with good sales numbers but low reviews. That means customers are choosing it because of the product and its attributes and how the seller has built it out, rather than review count. What that means is it represents a good entry point for you in that market. And also the product and its design and attributes are probably a good basis, a starting point for you in designing your own product. Yes, you'll make it better, but it's a good starting point. That is what a customer favorite is. And that is one of the products you want to find within your high potential market. So let's have a look at the example for Zen Garden Kit. If we click on this, so you can see it's actually this product here. And the reasoning for this is 30 ratings, so very low reviews, really good price point still, but this one is making a lot of sales in that market, so it stands out as a very good entry point. We would like to mimic or follow their strategy. Of course, outdo them, but follow their strategy. They're selling very well with low reviews, and that's where we want to be. So if we actually look at the Zen Garden Kit market and we bring up Helium 10, you can instantly see why this one was chosen. It's right over here, and you can see sales, almost 400 sales a month, only 30 reviews, really good price point. Now this has actually gone up to 30. I think when we first found it, it was at 15 reviews. But this is the type of relationship you're looking for with a product to determine your customer favorite. Where's that entry point? That's not only a good strategy in building your product, but it's also a good way of verifying that a market is worth entering. So let's find one for our whiskey gift set for men, one of our customer favorites. So we're going to go to that market. So we bring up Helium 10 here. Now, just a note, you can actually drag these columns if you didn't know that. But I like to have it in sales, review count, price, and then fees. But those are my most important three here. I want to see how well is it selling, how many reviews, and is it selling well just because of a low price? I want to avoid that. So these are the three most important for me. Now this one jumps out at me immediately. 5 reviews, still a very good price point, 35, 400 sales a month. So we're going to open up this one. Here's another example, 70 reviews, almost 600 sales a month at 27. So slightly lower price point, but still could be a very good option. And here again, 53, 417 sales and a $43 price point. So even more interesting. So those 3 are potential customer favorites. And I love to see multiple customer favorites on page 1. That's an even better sign that there's a big opportunity here. So we can see the lower price one is this one here, 5 reviews, 35, selling very well. And the other is this one, 53, $43. Now I'm actually going to choose this one. Although those reviews are a bit higher, that's going to give us more info. We're going to get a lot of feedback off of those reviews. And I like that it's a higher price point. Even though it's higher price, it's still selling well. People are still choosing it, even though those reviews are lower. So we can definitely learn from this one, and this is our customer favorite. So we'll take this URL, and we're going to drop that in there. Your next column, why is this the customer favorite? Here you can see a good example for the Zen Garden Kit. It's outselling higher review sellers at a solid price point because it includes stamp spheres, Zen rake, and the sand brush. It has fixed the issue of not having enough sand as well, which was a problem there. So you want to look a little bit into your market, look into those reviews. That's why I chose a higher review count there. Even though it's just 50, we're going to get good feedback and see why is that one selling well, even though it has lower reviews. And we're going to insert that here. Next up, we have page 1 average price. Very easy to figure out. Again, just Helium 10 extension, we can see the page 1 average price is $35. So we're going to drop that in. And when you drop that in, no need to put in a currency symbol. Next up, enter the customer favorite price. So we're going to put that in as well, no currency symbol. And note, this uses a comma here, not a period or full stop. And you can see this one auto-filled, so you don't have to put anything in here. Price above $30? Yes, it is, because it's basing that on the 2 prior inputs here. So this is an important check of your market. So you can start to see how you inputting these little metrics, it's going to allow the sheet to start giving you feedback on very important criteria. Page 1 average monthly sales. Again, easy to find on your extension. Now, Helium 10 doesn't actually represent that figure, although you could make your own average. So I pulled up Jungle Scout and you can see the average monthly sales here, about 680 per month. So this is also a very good tool, this Chrome extension, and a little more cost effective. So it's also an option, and they're also running a Prime Day discount. So I'm also going to drop the link for you below if this one's of interest to you. Remember, those ones are time bound, so if you do want the discount, you have to act quickly. But 683, we'll drop that in. So we drop that in there, and then customer favorite monthly sales. So how much is that customer favorite you chose? How many are they selling a month? Well, in our case here, remember it was 417 sales. So we drop that in. And then this column is again going to automatically update based on these two inputs. And then the next two here, page 1 average reviews and your customer favorite reviews. This one from extension and this one from your favorite. So on Helium 10, we can see average reviews is actually 510. That's pretty high. And then of course our customer favorite reviews, which was 53. So we drop those in here. The next one, this one is very important. This is a metric I have used for years. It is, in my opinion, the most important metric if you were to boil it down to one metric. Do you have 2 or more sellers on page 1? Okay, they must be on page 1, who each have less than 100 reviews, but are doing over 300 sales a month. You can see, of course, that shows you market entry. Now, as we went through, we already found 3 that had less than 100 reviews and sold over 300 a month. So we can definitely mark this as a yes, but this is an important one. Make sure you answer this one accurately. And you can see that some of these columns are different colors. That's actually because they are tabulating different scores. It might be on profit or market or even differentiation, but there are different scores that you're going to end up with. And our customer favorite weight. Here you actually want to input the weight of your customer favorite. And then it's going to calculate automatically here, is that customer favorite under 4.75 pounds, which is not the end of the world if it's not, but it is something we're going to favor because that's going to keep you in large standard size or below. And then we're going to put in the length of our customer favorite and then the width and height. And that's going to allow us to calculate here whether or not the customer favorite size is beneath large standard size as well in terms of dimensions. And then our customer favorite product size tier is going to calculate over here into perhaps large standard size. So let's fill in those dimensions and weights. And to do this really easy, just scroll down on your customer favorite and you're going to see under product info, you're going to see the size here and you're going to see the item weight here. And that's what you want to input. So you can see as soon as we put that in, 6.34 pounds, it actually says false instantly to this question. And this should actually say no. So we might adapt that a bit, but the functionality is there. So it's actually not under 4.75 pounds. Then let's input our dimensions. So you can see we input our length, width, and height. And this is really important. You must use commas, not periods or full stops here. It's really important or it will say false. Here you must also input the biggest to the smallest. So length is your biggest, width is your second biggest, and height is the smallest. And then it is going to calculate for you if you're under large standard size. And moving across, it's now going to tell you where is that customer favorite product size tier. Which one does it sit in? So it automatically fills this out and you can see it is large standard size. Next up, does it have high development potential? So here you're going to mark this yes or no, but can it be significantly improved compared to current listings? Now this is one of the subjective ones, which software tools just can't help you with, but that's what I like about the sheet is it kind of includes that. And you've got to really think on that and rate your product yourself. And so this is where you really need to take that objective view. Can I improve this significantly off of what I'm seeing, off of the main images, off of what people say in reviews, and really make something that's going to stand out? So we're going to mark this as yes. Next, is this seasonal? This product certainly not, because it's a whiskey gift set. So it's going to be bought all year round, different gifting seasons. Definitely no. And by the way, for each of these, it's just a little drop down. So we're going to click the drop down and yes. And then on this one, drop down, no, etc. Next up, is the product dangerous or PPE? Now you actually have a clickable link here to the page, which is going to demonstrate to you which products Amazon sees as dangerous or hazmat or PPE. So you can quickly determine this. In this case, it is no. So again, from the drop down, we're going to select that. Is it a big brand product? Definitely not. We're seeing a lot of private labels, no dominant big brands here like Nike. And is it a fad? So mark yes or no. Is the product likely to have a short life cycle? Example, fidget spinners. In this case, definitely not. This is not one of those products. I'd say one of the ones currently is that fidget pop-up toy or push-it toy, something like that. That's a good example of a fad. Next up here, we actually move on to problems and differentiation, which is critical. Now you can see here, I'm not actually going to fill this all out for the whiskey gift set, but let's use a Zen Garden example here. Problem number 1. So what was the most common problem that people mentioned? So your most important one here. That was actually missing items. Then we move to differentiation one. Well, how could you solve that? Or could you solve that? And we could conduct inspections. That would be an easy way to ensure nothing is missing. Problem 2. This is the second most common and therefore second most important. This was broken items, often because of poor packaging. Differentiation, we can improve that. We can create custom packaging. The third most common problem was a cheap frame of the garden. You guys have seen these Zen Garden kits. Sometimes that frame is really cheap and flexible and kind of falls apart. But here, of course, we would deal with that problem and create a really high quality frame. These two should be swapped and we'll fix this. But the next problem here was not enough sand. So the sand actually wouldn't fill that base. So of course, our differentiation would be to provide sufficient sand, maybe even refills, a packet of refill sand or something. And another kind of creative differentiation we thought of here was to actually have an item holder for the little gardening tools you use in these Zen gardens. The reason being is this is very ornamental. It's very visual. It's got to be aesthetically pleasing. And so people put like little Buddhas in their Zen garden kits, etc. So what if we had a really nice ornamental item holder within that garden? That's going to be one, functional, but two, it's also going to be very effective as a visual marketer. It's something we could really stand out with in main images and be that kind of just that last push for people to choose us over a competitor. And then problem summary. So overall, give a brief summary of the problems. And this was quality control for sure. And following on from that, a differentiation summary. What's really your strategy on creatively improving this product? Of course, ours was to offer interchangeable tools, and those are going to use a little small Buddha statue as a tool stand. So it's going to be our real visual, impactful differentiation, but also functional. And then we're going to address the quality control problems and strengthen the packaging. So we're going to do both of those. We're also going to conduct inspections. Next up, potential supplier. So at this point, you want to go over to wherever you're sourcing from, likely Alibaba, and use your customer favorite as a guide in what you're looking for and vet a good few suppliers. Look at them. I recommend verified suppliers and manufacturers if you can. I do prefer those over trading companies. But then find a good one and drop in a potential supplier here, a link to their Alibaba listing. Now here we want to enter our goal sell price. This is very important. We're going to begin actually looking at profitability here, and this is going to help you make decisions between products. So our aim over time is to eventually sell this at $45. That's what we're going to work up to. And manufacturing cost per unit. So for this, we actually need to find a potential supplier. So here's a couple tricks when you are on Alibaba. So we're looking for our same product, same keyword, but if you click verified suppliers, it's actually going to filter these results and only show you those. So here we have a better idea. These are fully verified. Their locations have been evaluated. And so that's a quick way to narrow down. And so we find this listing here, and you can see they're a verified supplier, 12 years, and we can actually click through to their little mini site here and go through their product category to this section. Then we can look at all the different variations they do. And this is important because then you can see, okay, how could they change things up, customize, bundle? How can I pull different things from their portfolio? So you're also looking for a supplier who focuses on your niche and can really expand and adjust and be flexible with product design. And so looking through their catalog, I found this one which matches a style I'm going to be looking to do based on what I see with customers. And I like some of the accessories and things that they can include. Some very unique visual aspects here. That's what I'm really looking for. So this is a really good option. And then we're going to look just for an estimate on pricing. Now we can see this is probably going to cost us about $12.99 per piece. And that's probably going to allow customizations as well if we do say 500 or 1,000 pieces here. So about a $13 manufacturing cost. And so we drop that in this column here. Again, just put it in 13. It will automatically put everything else. And then shipping fees. So what do we expect to ship this internationally for from our supplier to the FBA warehouse? Now there are multiple sites online where you can actually get a very good estimate quote, like Freightos.com, for example. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to input $4. This is because shipping has gone up quite a lot lately. It's actually tripled on a lot of products. So whereas you could usually ship something for about $2 DDP, a smaller size product in bulk, 500 or 1,000, that's gone up pretty significantly. And this is also not a very small product. So I'm going to put in $4 for time here. And so that brings up our landed cost. It automatically generates here. And you can see that's, of course, our manufacturing plus our shipping. So that's $17 landed in the FBA warehouse ready to sell. Now, something that often comes up is, oh, what about duties? This is a DDP quote. So it's delivered duties paid. So that's what I'm looking at. And when you're getting quotes, I recommend you do the same. Make sure it includes the duty rate, whatever you do put in here. And onto referral fees. Now this is of course what you pay Amazon for making the sale on their platform. This has nothing to do with FBA, with them shipping products to customers. It's got nothing to do with the size of your product. This has to do with the category you're selling in, and it's Amazon's commission for bringing you the sale. They've got tons of customers, credit card details ready, made the sale easy for you, so they charge you a referral fee per sale, usually 15%. So this is automatically going to generate off of our goal sell price. It's going to be goal sell price times 15%. And we're also going to update this where it'll actually change per category. So let's say you're in a rarer category like automotive, then it's a 12% referral fee, so it'll be a little bit lower. So we will integrate that as well. But for the most part, this is going to be 15%. Then our item weight. Now don't confuse this one with the weight we already input. That was for our customer favorite. But as you saw, our product's pretty different. It's actually a crate one that might have different accessories, could be heavier or lighter. For now, getting an estimate, we can use that Alibaba listing, which will tell us the weight. If you're completely unsure and your product will be similar, then use the customer favorite weight here. So here I've worked out that for our product we're going to be doing, it's a 4.9 pound product. Now in this next column here, dimensional weight. This is something that's calculated off of actually your customer favorite dimensions you already put in, which are probably going to be very close to your product. We're likely going to add the feature where you can input your product's dimensions here, because that will be a tad more accurate if your product's very different from your customer favorite. So here what it's doing is it's taking your length times width times height divided by 139. That is something Amazon also does for your product. And whichever is bigger, your item weight or dimensional weight becomes your outbound shipping weight. This is the one Amazon chooses as your outbound shipping weight. And that one, whichever one is bigger, determines your FBA fulfillment fee. And you can actually click here to see your FBA fee categories, but that's going to result in our FBA fee being $6.71. And so in this example, now that we have our referral fees, our FBA fees, our shipping costs, etc., we actually automatically calculate a profit per unit. And so you can see at $14.53 profit per unit, that is actually a profit margin of 32.3%. So not excellent, but it is over 30%. And so it automatically fills a profit score. That's a 6 out of 10. We'd like to see it higher. You can see on the Zen Garden Kit, it was 53%. That's 10 out of 10, superb. So this is 6 out of 10, decent. You're also then given a market score based on the other factors you've input. And this is a 9 out of 10 in this example. And lastly here, you have a development score. Now this again requires you to be objective, but you're going to choose something from this drop down. Choose one of these that represents the opportunity you have here in terms of improving the product and making it different and stand out on the current market. And so on this one, I would probably give this an 8 out of 10. I think there are a lot of things we can do, especially in design, in niching based on design of the product. I would have to look a lot more into it, but let's choose 8 out of 10 as an example here. And that is then going to compile your profit, market, and development scores into a weighted score. And you can see this brings out at a 7 out of 10. Now, if you were looking at these products in the very beginning, Zen Garden Kit, Whiskey Glass Gift Set, it's much more difficult to really make a call there. But when you input all the data and look at different aspects, you're going to be able to get better weightings over different important areas and really make concrete decisions. So this is the list I personally use. This is also a list we use for the priority products videos for those in our YouTube membership. You can also check that out below. Click join below this video to see what's in there. But this is what we use, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys so you can use it too. In the very last column, you can also insert notes here. And a last mention, you can see at the bottom, if you go across to the next worksheet, so we're on cheat sheet now, if you go fulfillment fee list, this is actually going to open an area which breaks down the fees for different types of products in different areas. So you can see small standard size and unit weights and sizes that will fit into that, and large standard size, small oversize. And then here you can see for most products, for apparel and for dangerous goods. It's also going to store the dimensions, weights, and fulfillment fees for the different products that you insert here. So this is also a nice, easy resource. But guys, totally free. Check out the link below. Also bear with us. We're improving it step by step, and feel free to please give us feedback. You can drop a comment or email the email on our channel as well. Just if you have feedback on it, ways to improve, things like that, we'll definitely be implementing those over time. So that is our product research sheet. Link in the description below and in the pinned comment. You can get it totally free. Remember, if you do want to support the channel, drop us a like and a share. Also check out Helium 10. Remember that Prime Day discount. Save 80%. That means you're only going to pay $20 for your first month. Then you can choose whether or not you continue with them or not. But that's going to allow you to see every tool within their suite. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments what you think of the tool, and I'll catch you in the next video.